Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Frozen Frontier Flashback Edition. Grimes is having a little bit hard time killing Janet.
He is. She seems like a perfectly agreeable young lady.
Is that why you're having a hard time killing her?
Yeah, why ever else? I can't figure out why the family would want poor Janet off unless it is just business. Are they trying? What are they trying to run up Wick Lambdo?
No.
Or is this just a test for me? What is the walk south and west like?
It's fairly pleasant. It's a heavily wooded area. Logging has been strictly forbidden along this trail here, this road. And you pass some other people, because it's a little afternoon now, and there are carts going back and forth along this road, and other people traveling and walking. You overtake some people, and some other people pass you. It's not super busy, but you see a person every half hour or so, or a person or a cart or something.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, anything else notable on the journey?
How do we want to play this through? Is Grimes' tension. You know,
sure.
Janet continues to...
It's palpable, but he's a strapping young lad, right?
Yeah.
And maybe the tension is kind of attractive, right? It's it's a 14 strength, 16 dex kind of tension.
Right, yeah, and you're
wrapped in a shy package.
Awkward guy, and that seems to be bemusing to her and kind of like adorable. So she kind of pokes at it a little bit every now and then, like asking you questions that she knows might be a little uncomfortable for you to answer, but not too uncomfortable. You know,
Yeah. So who is this this Janet?
She's the
can I get a better gauge?
A family of muckers, you know, and she tells you how she got into mountain climbing.
Really?
Yeah, so she was originally mucking around and was one of the deeper muckers that would go towards the edge of the mountain where the cold water runs off. They're called cold muckers because they get in the cold area. And
is that superior to hot mucking?
No, it's a more uncomfortable area of the swamp to work in.
Oh.
But there are better rewards for it because there are things that only grow in the colder swamp water, and there's less. It's less harvested, so you can usually get more stuff. But it's a little bit more dangerous. It's a little bit more uncomfortable. And she said that she started, making her way deeper into the swamp, and then actually started scrambling up the hill to get things, and ended up spending more of the time on the mountain than in the swamp, and started avoiding the swamp, even going like along the east coast of Wiki Run to like climb up into the mountains to get things and then come back home. And then one day she ran into a bunch of people giving tours in that same spot that you were, and saw what they did and asked how she could get involved, and came home and told her family she wanted to be a tour guide on the mountain. And at first they were like, tour guides are, that's blah blah blah, that's stupid work, that's not for us. And then she said, well, they make this much money. And the family said, yay, a tour guide in the family, congratulations, but you have to live at home. And she's like, yes, of course, I'm happy to live at home, but, mountain climbing, it's better for me, it's better for us, let's do this. And she went down to the government offices and signed up, and has been hiking the mountain for a couple of years now.
Does an accent come out over this conversation? Like, do a different persona? Does she have? She's got to have a backpack with her.
Yeah, she has a small backpack. It's not a very big. It's actually the satchel that she was carrying, so it's over one shoulder and hangs at her left side.
And she's got her change of clothes shoved in there.
Mm-hmm. She's still wearing her dress today.
Oh.
And the further you get away from the mountain, the closer to home, the more her accent slips back into her common mucker accent. You can tell that she's worked very hard to overcome it. But as the walk continues and as she gets closer to home and as the two of you chat more and get more familiar, she lets her true accent come out a little bit.
the muck starts to show through.
Yeah,
The muck always shines through.
it does.
So they got a pub in on the west side over here?
Footmire's got the best pub around.
Oh no, the accent is gonna ruin her for me, Neal. Is this how you trick me into doing the deed?
No, definitely not. I will avoid any accents to make it difficult for you. Yeah, best pub around, you know. Now, I know a lot of city slickers don't feel this way, but swamp water makes for amazing beer. There's something, I know, I've seen that look before, but there's something about the way the mold interacts with the yeast that gives it a rich, earthy tone. You're gonna love it.
In the city, they say it's ditch water makes the best ale.
Well, you know what the muckers say about the city people. They can get sucked under the muck for all we care.
I ain't no city slicker.
Uh-huh. You just spend all your days in the city, behind them big, safe walls to protect you.
All right. We walk onwards towards Footmire. Oh, that's not all that far, is it?
I mean, it's a meandering route, so it takes a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mary, what do you...
It's Mari.
Mari, what do you do on your days off? Aside from climbing mountains. Badly.
Well, I do some sweeping when I'm not getting distracted. And I give her a sidelong glance and a smirk.
But for recreation, for sport, surely you must have a hobby or something you prefer to do on your days off, or are you one of those boys that sleeps and drinks his life away when he's not working?
No. I think we didn't mention it, but I don't know that Grimes even drank much on the mountain.
Okay.
He's pretty young, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know. We didn't because it wasn't a point of that scene. I assumed it was glossed over and a non-issue. But
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
Well.
Okay.
What do you do for entertainment?
I'm afraid I'm not sure what you mean.
Hard life working. Yeah, I get that. Well, we'll show you a good time. You'll meet my parents and my siblings. There are a lot of them. No pressure. Everyone just hangs out at the pub. We're a small village, and there's only one pub, so you'll meet everyone. And you'll have to steel your heart against all the jabs they're going to make about your accent.
Grimes bites his lip. Oh, Martha, what did we get ourselves into?
God, you find yourself going around that big bend and approaching Footmire. You know you're like 2 miles from it. You'll be there in 20, 30 minutes at the pace you guys are walking. Chatting about this and that, and she stops to look at a banana slug on the ground and holds it up for you. And
banana slug.
Look at this guy. He's like 6 inches long.
Why would you touch that?
She like gets the banana slug close to you, you know. Tries to place it on your shoulder if you don't run away. Or if you do run away, she chases after you with it.
Yeah, I run away and she chases after me.
And then she puts the banana slug back on the ground and continues to walk back down.
Tugging at my heartstrings, Neal.
You find yourself at the... You see Footmire now, the village at the edge of Footmire right now. It's 600 feet away. You know, it's only mid-afternoon, so people won't be pulling into the pub for another hour or two. I guess we will have a chance to get a quiet drink to ourselves before most people show up.
Or we could forget the pub.
She stops.
You could show me your favorite climb in town.
Well, my favorite climb in town
Did she mention
back at the mountain because there's no mountains near the swamp.
Surely you've got a local tree with a view.
Ah.
And we've like paused some hundreds of yards out into the woods from town.
Yeah. She stops. Yeah. You know,
every good village got one.
Well, as I said before, I'm the 6th child in my family. My eldest sibling, my only brother, has used to have a tree fort outside of town. I don't know if it's still there or not, but we could go try and find it. He used the extra building supplies from when we were putting up some new things, that the scrap wood that couldn't be used to put something together.
I know I'm already in your debt, but now my accent's going country. I can't. It's just a mess. But perhaps I could use some more climbing lessons. Best mountain guide in.
Sure, just let me drop off this stuff at home. And she takes you into the village to drop off her pack at her house for taking you back out south of the road.
Do I get let in with her, or can I?
You do.
I can't catch up with her later.
It'll be really awkward otherwise. But no one's at home. Everyone's out working. So she just heads into the house, drops off her stuff, says hello to the old lady down the street, who just sits in a rocking chair watching.
Oh, God.
Who gives you a squinty, judgmental look. Who is this boy she's bringing home?
Yeah, that grandma's gonna be talking, I don't even know, stories about, yeah.
Yeah. She leads you back out to the main road.
But I do my best to, avoid the grandma's gaze to make myself, unremarkable, indescribable. For her. Yeah.
She heads south of the main road, off it maybe 30 feet or so, and starts circling around a tree and taps it heartily on the side and goes, well, this is it. It's my older brother's tree fort. Shall we go up? And you look up and you can see maybe 30 feet up there's a large platform.
30 feet up. That's the perfect site for...
3d6 falling damage might kill her.
Yeah. I look up, I say, after you teach,
she
feigning
crosses
nervousness.
her arms and goes, no, I've played that trick before. I've had that trick played on me before.
She's still wearing her dress?
Still wearing her dress.
Oh, shucks. All right, do I climbing check this, or what? Or just, or
I mean, don't
are there
roll
handholds?
There are little grasps here or there. Just don't roll a 1. Perfect. Yeah.
Fine enough. I probably more impressed. She never saw me fall. That was someone. She just heard the gossip and saw the scraped elbows.
Yeah.
So I scamper up this tree. I think just a little ways, and then I put a hand down to gesture her to follow. And
she follows.
Okay. So I put a hand down. I feigned an offer to help her, and she's like, and climbs it herself.
Completely ignores it.
Sure.
And then there's a little hatch that opens up, so you come up through the floor, basically.
To a little platform. Is there actually a little hatch?
Yeah, there's a little hatch that opens up.
Mm-hmm.
And the two of you get up here. It's maybe a 7x7 platform. There's a little rail across one side. It looks like there were rails on all 4 sides, but it's been a long time since this fort has been maintained by any of its inhabitants.
Yeah, so I'm near the rail looking out, and because climbing a tree doesn't really give you that much of a view, I can't see much. And I say...
You just see a lot of raccoon shit all over.
Yeah, all over the floor.
Yeah.
It's a nice view of the trees from up here.
Well, it's a nice spot to rest, she says, cool breeze, no direct sunlight, and she kind of leans over your shoulder and kind of guides your vision by pointing. And you have an excellent view of the road from here. We used to, my sisters and I used to come up here and make up stories about people that are passing by. And sure enough, there's a nice little view, but now she's standing closely behind you, you know, leaning over you almost, touching her chest to your back and her arm to your shoulder as she points through the trees.
Do I see anyone on the road?
No, not right now. There's a squirrel crossing the road.
And what did he say of these travelers?
Oh,
and
you know. Where are they going? What are their names? What's their life like?
And what would... And what of your life? This is... Did you ever wish to join them on the road?
Oh, God.
Live one of these fantastical lives? Or
no,
is it all in your head?
To be honest, I've always been a homebody. The mountain's as far away as I'd ever like to go for extended periods of time. You know, I might visit the city once in a blue moon, or maybe go to see the ocean. I could see the ocean once in my life. That might be nice. Have you ever been to the ocean?
Never been outside of the capital.
Is this the farthest south you've ever been?
I blush. That quote's actually pretty appropriate. Oh God, chat, you're monsters. Okay. And...
What are you gonna do, Grimes? She sits down, brushes some raccoon shit to the side, leans against one of the branches of the tree.
I guess yeah. Sit beside her.
She starts to talk about, you know, wildlife. What do you have over in Landslide? Anything interesting? We have squirrels and rabbits and raccoons over here.
Tribe of orcs across the Lamdoon.
I've heard about that. Have you ever seen an orc?
Oh yeah, fearsome ugly.
What she asks you to describe them, and just, you know, she has a conversation with you about orcs and
yeah, like
rivers
stand up. They're a head taller than any man you've ever seen, with snouts and tusks like a boar. Hideous.
Okay, but have you ever seen a live orc?
Yes, of course I have. Like they're just across the bloody river.
And what did it do? Huh? What was it doing when you saw it?
Snorting.
The conversation continues until she says, well, we should go get that drink now. And it's getting late. If you want to get home tonight, you better head out pretty soon, too. It's a long walk back to the capital. She climbs down the tree.
Hold a sec. Before she goes to climb down. I think this is the moment we've been building to, the opportunity. Like I think as she turns to go down the hatch.
Right, she bends over to like lift up the hatch.
Should I roll a will check or something for myself?
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
I gotta do what I gotta do?
Yep. Then she leans over, puts her hands on the platform.
Hold on, my character sheet locked. What's my willpower? It's low, isn't it?
I have it somewhere.
The question is, do I want to pass or do I want to fail? What is...
Your willpower's 9.
Yeah.
So she puts her hands on the thing and begins to climb down the tree.
And I think as she goes through the hatch, I give her a firm but accidental nudge with a boot. And I guess let's roll to hit.
No, you can easily put it. Let's do opposed strength checks.
Yeah. Maybe even a bonus for high ground. Oh,
Sure.
I would need it. I would need it to even pass.
Advantage on your strength check for high ground.
Oh, so you want me to roll another d20?
Yeah, she rolls a total 27 on her check.
No, I can't do it. I get a 21. So I like go to shove, and then I think
she stops and like grabs onto the tree and looks back up to you and goes, "That's not funny. You could get hurt that way." And then
I think she like looks and
continues to climb down, thinking that you were trying to play a practical joke on her.
Right. Sorry. You're right. And then I climb down after her.
She takes you over to the pub and orders you both a drink. The bartender asks her, "Janet, who the hell is this guy? I haven't seen him before." "Brutus, just leave it be. You don't have to look after me all the time. He's a friend." And you guys share a drink.
Cheers.
Yeah,
and I think
people begin to show up, and you lose any opportunity to murder her discreetly. And
I think that's where we'll wrap up the session, huh? Quest failed.
No. We're not done yet, Ryan.
We're not done failing quests.
Oh no! You think it was this easy? You head back home.
Yeah, days late.
Days late. You find your father worried sick about you. We don't have to go into the details, but you know, everything you had feared. He's asking, "Where were you? What was going on?" Yada 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 yada. Blah 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 blah. And the next day, when you head into Wickthon Renta, who else should be hanging out near the front gate other than Cousin Alan?
At the front gate? Is
on
he
the
like
inside
standing?
of the gate, yeah.
Okay, I go past the guards, probably with my. Am I with Papa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Coming in for the day's, a day's work. I don't know what I said. I'm sure Pa saw right through whatever veiled lie I said. He
immediately questions you about why you have a dagger strapped to your leg. Yeah. It's just. It's
I'm probably very rude, and I don't. Yeah. None of your business.
Yeah.
He knows what's up, huh?
Alan sees you.
So I will. I'll do the usual circle the block and come back to Alan. So, actually, I think I try to avoid Alan, and then he corners me some blocks away.
Definitely. He catches up to you and goes, "Grimes, what's going on? It's not like you to avoid me, or not see me."
What do you mean? I ain't avoiding you.
Oh, then you lost in thought, then, boy. How's work?
What's up, Alan? I like going closer so he can. Like, does he have a message to deliver, or is he?
No, he's just. How's the job? Is it done?
Not yet.
You get cold feet? You've been gone for a few days. We thought that you had done the deed. What happened? Where'd you go?
What do you know about this job?
Very little.
I look up at Alan.
I just know what they tell me.
Do you know who it is?
He shakes his head slowly. You
can
can see
around.
On his face that you guys are getting into dicey territory, like discussing the details of work that he's not particularly involved in, and you can see the discomfort on his face as you're like starting to share secrets.
Yeah, I think I break protocol a little bit and like step in closer and say, "What? Why her?"
I don't know, but Grandpa says something's got to happen. Something's got to happen. But who is she? I
shrug him off, and I think we carry on wherever we were headed? Like, was this the destination? Was this what he wanted? Yeah.
No, he was just checking up on you. You say it hasn't been done, and you start shrugs and
I think
walks
that's.
away.
I think that's like probably as far. I mean, I've already overstepped telling him what I have, haven't I?
Yeah. The rest of the day passes uneventfully. You get home that night, and
I think I.
Yeah. You walk home with your father that night. Everything goes smoothly, no problems. The next morning, you guys wake up and begin to head out. Or you wake up and start getting ready to head out, and your father's hacking up a storm. He's got his like little medicine bottle nearby that he's readily swigging from, trying to fix things up. And he says, I think I'm gonna take a day off. It's been a decade since I've taken a full day off in the middle of the week, so you're gonna have to do work overtime, son. You're gonna have to do my jobs as well as your own today. He hands you ceremoniously his very own sweeper.
I think, not thinking much of it, I do what Pa asks and probably actually go chimney sweeping for the first time in a long time.
Right.
Maybe not a week and a half, maybe, or whatever it's been. And I don't think Grimes reads into this, even though I might know where the script is going.
Yeah, well, you get home that night after a hard day of work that you haven't done in a while.
Yeah, the noble chimneys are labyrinths, right? I was probably doing Pa's route.
Yeah. And, when you get home, Ryan's fears are made true. You find your father in bed, like dead. A pool of blood around his mouth as if he's like coughed himself to death. There's no puncture marks on him. There's no signs of a struggle. There's no signs of injury. But sure enough, you get home and you find your father no longer
I think probably
living.
at first I just think he's unconscious, and Grimes shouts.
Well, there's a clear pile of blood around
shouts,
his...
Pa! Yeah. And I run to his side and shake him and wake up and pound on his chest. And
he's cold.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
He's cold.
Yeah. And the next day...
Tears.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Neal wants to breeze over the emotional scene.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Please take it away.
He'll describe in vivid detail the privet movements of our characters. But when it comes time for an emotional, I'm just teasing. We can flip to the next. So I mean, I think Grimes has to take care of his.
What do you do?
Father.
How do you deal with your dead father?
I think, by crying and screaming, "Pa, wake up, wake up!"
Neighbors come over and open the door and see.
I think that's what happens, right? I mean, he's been sick for a long time.
It's known.
Everyone's
that he was
kind
dying.
of seen this coming, but you're never quite ready.
Yeah.
Is there any anything obviously suspicious that I noticed before the neighbors show up? Like,
give me a perception
is medicine
check.
Changed or anything like that? Is there a dead horse head in the bed? 24 on my perception.
That's a good perception check. There's no horse head in the bed. The medicine bottle is a new one, but he's got 5 of them that you've managed to buy up. So today's bottle was fresh, but it's the same as all the other bottles. No big deal there. Everything in the house is in the same place. There's no sign of forced entry. Not that you actually have locks on your doors, but everything looks pretty regular.
Yeah. So I think after my crying and screaming, the neighbors would have come in and helped sort out the deceased. Right? We're ditchers, even if my family has departed from the ancestral occupation and taken to sweeping. The ditchers gather and dig a ditch here in a landslide and put Papa to rest.
All in one night. That's how quickly it happens here. The next day, what do you do? What do you do the day after your father dies?
Definitely don't go sweep a chimney, do you?
I don't know. Do you throw yourself into your work to deal with your emotions, or do you actually deal with your emotions?
Grimes? No. I think I head to Wicklamdo. Where do I mean? So we probably bury Pa like in the. There's probably some, like I said, some ditch along the. Not along the river, right? That'd be dumb. Away from the river. So
yeah, up near the base of the mountain, there's a cemetery.
And I think I leave straight from the cemetery.
That night?
Circle around the fence. No, just right after the. Oh, that is the night, huh?
Yeah, you'd bury him that night, maybe the next morning.
Yeah, so I think it's early the next morning. Get things finished, and after like a little. Probably not even much of a ceremony, right? It's more of like the ceremony is in the labor, right? In the digging and the burying.
Right. There is a priest who chants a funeral hymn while you guys dig.
Like a priest of Martha, I assume? Or
no, priest of Verasi. Goddess of death. It's the.
Well, yeah. What was my quote? I'm a lot more comfortable now that Verasi's in the room.
Something like that.
Something like that. I lost it already.
Chat moves too quickly.
And
I'm doing much better now that Verasi's in the room. There we go.
Yeah. So I leave after 'tis done. Wipe a tear from the eye. And I think head straight up the mountainside and go up and over.
Where
right?
to?
I don't know yet.
Right.
I mean, like probably towards the Pilgrim's Trail, right? Up towards where those camps are, but from the backside, right?
Sure. Give me a climbing check, Grimes. Let's see how well you do it. Oh,
actually
nice.
Showing my aptitude this time, and I think I scampered just up the backside of the mountain and come down, up the slopes from those camps.
Yeah. Well, some days later, unspecified amount of time, once you've climbed the mountain to your heart's content, you head back into the city and are meted once again by...
So I don't see any other climbers up the mountain. I don't see no sign of Janet.
No, you're on the backside. You wouldn't run into her here. You go back into the city, and Alan is waiting for you again. Maybe a little impatiently even. You actually see him talking with someone else, tapping his foot, and when you walk by, he stops his conversation with that person and goes after you and goes, "Hey!"
Yeah, I ain't got no paw to ditch at this point, so I think I just, Alan walks right up to me.
He walks right up to you. "Hey, Grimes, where you been?"
"I've been busy."
Well,
I glower at Alan. "What do you want?"
Oh, just telling you don't have to do the thing.
"What do you mean I don't have to do the thing? What thing?"
The thing. It's all right. I took care of it for you. I don't know what problems you were having with it. It was a real easy one.
I grab him by the cuff of his shirt and shove him up against the nearest wall.
You hear a guard say, "Hey, knock it off, guys!"
I pull hands off the lapel, brush him off. What do you mean you got it done?"
"I mean, you were having trouble with it. I let the bosses know, let Gramps know you were struggling with it, and he told me to take care of it. Well, Auntie E told me to take care of it, so I did. I don't know what the fuss was all about. It was real easy."
"What exactly did you do, Alan?" I think my eyes, are probably... are rubbed raw. Maybe I don't have any tears left to cry.
I was waiting near the base camp of the mountain, and she comes walking on up, and I just walk up to her, and 1, 2, 3 in the gut, and walk away into the forest. Left her to bleed out on the floor.
I think I strike Alan, like sucker punch him, probably. I don't know if right in the face or maybe in the gut. Mm-hmm. Shall I roll d20?
Please.
15.
Oh yeah, you totally smash him. The hell, man?
And I think I like run off. I don't know if the guards notice that and shout, or if
they sort of shout, but like you leave, the fight's over. They don't get shit. No one's injured. Yeah.
And I think I run to Footmire. And probably, I don't know if then to confirm for myself, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So I probably spend, I don't know, this is like passing a lot of time, but some hours later, right, I come running into Footmire, presumably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exhausted, panting.
Yeah. And find a funeral there as well, or something along those lines.
Yeah. You find the cemetery. Grimes is literate, right? At this point?
No. Grimes is not a literate man. But I think you can find the signs for such things, or yeah. I think I come panting into town and asking for the cemetery.
Right. The priest here in Footmire, they only have one priest in Footmire, and it's a priest of Martha. So he's got the duty of, he's got to take care of everything, including funeral rites. It's awkward, but it's what you got to do when you're in a small village. He lets you know that Janet was killed.
I don't ask about it. I'm going to ask for the cemetery.
Oh, okay. He points you in the direction of the cemetery and asks if he can. Who are you looking for?
Okay, so I guess I will say that I'm looking for. I was hoping to come. I mean, it's only been. I guess I don't know when Alan did it. Right. So I was wondering if I would bump into it, but it looks like the funeral's days past, right?
Days past. It's been a few days since she died.
And I ask if he knows a Janet that lives here. And I think my eyes are raw, right? It's clear I've been crying. It was probably on my face when I saw Alan, but
yeah. He tries to console you a little bit, but lets you grieve and lets you know that she died a few days ago near the mountain that she loved so much, stabbed in a senseless road murder. They didn't even get a chance to take her possessions. And piecing together the timeline, it's like the same day that you came back into Wickthron Orenta and like had that conversation with Alan is the day that she died.
Mm-hmm. Is she, and like nodding towards the cemetery that I had originally asked directions to, and I assume he points me to her grave or something.
Nods, yeah. He gives you directions to the grave, lets you go alone, and you can still see it's fairly fresh. It's not quite settled, and there's no grass over it yet.
Yeah, I think that's all I check. I guess I can't read the tombstone, but I find a fresh patch of dirt that the priest indicated was.
It's not even a stone. It's like a collection. It's a bundle. It's like a wicker archway that they place over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. With words painted on it somehow.
And I think Grimes will dig a small hole in the fresh dirt and bury that stupid long dagger in the earth. And I think we'll draw this flashback in for a close.
Yeah, I think now's the time.
Things are probably never the same between Alan and Grimes.
No, but I think that's part of the. I think this is the growing up process for you here with the family. Is that
the splitting off point?
Well, business is business. No, like business is business. You might not be friends with the people you're working with all the time. Like you might, but this is the life now.
Yeah, and I think I think from here on out, I mean Grimes is always probably on sort of the outside, but I'll probably do those sorts of second story jobs for the family, but I'm probably never fully trusted.
You're never asked to do anything other than breaking in again.
Mm-hmm. Which is probably how I like it, a safer arrangement. Mm-hmm. I'm more of a contractor.
Yeah.
Not really part of the family.
So my last question for you is, your father's death appears to be fairly natural causes, but the timing of it died on the same day that Janet died. I think for now that's just maybe a superstitious or suspicious, super suspicious, ominous, super suspicious
suspicious. Wait.
It's something. It's definitely something. Are you
I'm superstitious that it's I don't even know. Tongue twisters. Yeah, I mean, Grimes is vaguely religious man. I mean, to live in this world, you'd be insane not to be, or a wizard or something, with a different view on the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for now, let's leave that like an open question, probably as it is to Grimes. Right? I don't know.
Perfect.
If we'll ever know
that's what I wanted. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Is what is Grimes thinking about this? And if it's just a superstitious thing, then so be it. I think we will find that the family has a lot of mysteries surrounding them, and coincidence follows them. But it's just coincidence, maybe. I don't know. Well, that's that for
good
our
stuff.
Flashback.
Not at all where I thought it was going to go. That was.
I hope it was enjoyable, though.
Was it good for you?
It was good for me.
Hope Chad enjoyed themselves on this little dicing with death takes over Fro.
Yeah, and just
flashback
to really make things super awkward for you. I want to give you all a picture of Janet before she died.
What is
the cheerful, wonderful Janet?
Is there already fan art, or did you just run a Google search for?
Here, I'll PM you in Discord. This is Janet before she died. Before Mary.
What the fuck?
Getting killed.
Who is this? You just Google searched Janet and found the.
Watch The Good Place. It's a show. It's a TV show. It's amazing.
Okay. Yeah, I did not. These are references that I did not get. Wow, that is exactly what you described her as wearing.
Yeah. All right
then.
We'll see you guys next week for more Frozen Frontier. Good night. Goodbye. Good afternoon. Good day.